I'm not sure what hurts more, that she used me, or that I kept letting her. My name's Naomi Foster. I'm 29, work in IT support in Seattle, and I've been best friends with Danielle Ruiz since we were 14. That's 15 years of late-night calls, inside jokes, sleepovers, college applications, breakups, all of it. I used to say she was my chosen sister. I don't say that anymore. Danielle's life had always been messier than mine. When her parents split in high school, she bounced between relatives. She didn't finish college, married young, divorced by 26. I always saw myself as her safety net. I had the job, the savings, the stability. She had the chaos. So when she texted me, crying about her power being shut off, I covered it. When she said she couldn't afford rent after her ex cleaned out their joint account, I wired her the full amount. No questions asked. When she said she wanted to rebuild her life and go back to school for esthetician training, I paid the tuition in full, up front. You've always been the strong one, she told me once, wiping her eyes over tacos in my kitchen. I don't know what I'd do without you. I felt proud of that, needed, like I was doing something good in the world, even if no one saw it. I never kept a tally, but my bank account did. Between rent, bills, groceries, gas money, textbooks, her laptop, and that last-minute emergency dentist visit. I must have sent her over $45,000 in 2 years. I even skipped my own trip home for Christmas last year because she said her apartment had mold and she couldn't afford to move. I wanted her safe. I paid for the movers. We shared a Google Calendar back when she was living with me, mostly to track chores and appointments. I hadn't looked at it in months, until last Thursday night. I was scrolling through TikTok after a long shift. Nothing unusual. Dog videos, people falling, travel influencers faking luxury. And then there she was, Danielle, in a bright orange bikini, laughing poolside with a drink in hand. Behind her, a massive ocean view and palm trees. The caption? Single life is hard, but I make it look easy. Cancun, Tic Resort Queen. I stared at the screen for a full minute. Maybe it was an old video, but the date was this week. The comments mentioned that same day's trending audio. I checked our texts. 3 days ago, she told me she couldn't afford her phone bill and might go dark for a while. My stomach twisted. I clicked on her account. Private. I wasn't even following her anymore. She must have removed me. Still trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, I texted her. Hey, just saw a video. Are you okay? Thought you said things were tight? No reply. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. I went back through every payment I'd made, every Venmo request she sent, every receipt. I didn't want to believe it, but something in me already knew. The next morning, I opened our old shared Google Drive, the one we used when she lived with me. Mostly grocery lists, old resumes, chore wheels. But there was a file at the top I didn't recognize. Naomi Strategy, Do Not Share. My blood ran cold. I clicked it. It was a bullet point list. Rent, guilt about her mom, sours. Easy yes, use anxiety if she hesitates. Save fake receipts for emergencies. Target max $1,000 per ask. Lower resistance. Never mention spa trips or dating app purchases. There were 15 bullet points, and at the bottom, Naomi. Slow to anger, quick to forgive. If she ever finds out, cry. Hard. I was still staring at the screen when I got the notification. Danielle just sent a new friend request from a backup account, and the message said, "Can we talk? I need you. It's serious." I didn't respond to her friend request. I didn't even open the message. Just seeing her name again made my chest tighten, but my hand hovered over the screen anyway. There was this part of me, the old part, the one that used to believe Danielle's pain before I believed my own. That voice whispered, what if it really is serious? What if she's finally telling the truth this time? So, like an idiot, I clicked the message. I messed up, I know. But please, can we just talk? In person? Just 5 minutes. I'll explain everything. I swear it's not what you think. Not what I think? She literally named the file Naomi's Strategy. I left her on read. The next day, I got flowers at my office. A big arrangement of lilies. My favorite. No note, just a card that said, "From someone who misses you." Then a voicemail that same night. Danielle's voice, soft and cracked, like she was crying. "You're my only family, Naomi. You always have been. I was stupid. I let other people get in my head. I didn't know how to ask for help without messing it up. Please don't shut me out. Not you." I nearly threw my phone across the room. She didn't know how to ask for help? I'd offered help, begged her to let me support her when she had panic attacks, when her ex trashed her car, when she said she was having nightmares from trauma. I believed every word. And now I wasn't even sure which of those stories were real. Was the broken taillight real? Was the eviction notice she cried over in my apartment real? Was anything real? I finally cracked and called my therapist, Dr. Khalid, who I hadn't seen in almost a year. He squeezed me in on his lunch break the next day. I walked into his office with a printout of the Naomi Strategy file and didn't even say hi. Just handed it to him and waited while he read it. When he looked up, he didn't seem surprised. Just sad. "You've been in a one-sided relationship for a long time," he said gently. I started crying. Right there. Full meltdown. Because I didn't want to be right. I wanted to believe she loved me in her own broken way. I wanted some version of this story where she was just scared and poor and doing her best. But she had weaponized my kindness. She didn't just lie. She documented how to keep doing it. I told Dr. Khalid everything. The money, the sacrifices, the times I'd said no to dating, to travel, to my own plans because I couldn't leave Danielle behind. "I thought I was building something for both of us," I said. "I thought when I finally got promoted, we'd move into a nicer place together." She even joked once about opening a skincare studio with me as silent partner. And then I remembered something I hadn't thought of in months. Danielle once made me sign a mock business plan during a wine night, said it was just a fun idea. I laughed and signed it without reading. Suddenly, I felt sick. I went digging through my Google Drive. Took me 20 minutes. But I found it. A PDF labeled Glow House LLC Operating Agreement. I opened it. My name was listed once, under Initial Funding Contributor. Danielle's name? Sole Proprietor. It had already been filed. That fake spa dream? It wasn't fake. It was real. And she'd legally registered the business in her name only, with my money. There it was. In black and white. Dated 5 months ago. Filed with the Washington Secretary of State. She'd even listed my apartment address as the original business address. She used my rent, my internet, my groceries. And filed a company from under my roof. My hands were shaking. I scrolled down to the last page. There was a line that read, "Transition plan pending funding shift from Naomi Foster to silent equity investor." She had a plan. To replace me. The next morning, I took the day off work. My stomach was in knots, and I couldn't pretend to function like normal. I sat on my kitchen floor, back against the cabinets, laptop on my knees, and stared at the Glow House LLC registration like it was some kind of horror script written just for me. The worst part? It wasn't even the business being filed in her name. It wasn't even that I'd paid for it without knowing. It was the name. Glow House was what Danielle and her ex used to call their dream apartment. Our little Glow House. She told me that story once after too much wine. She'd giggled about how they wanted to put neon signs on the walls, have candles in every room. Glow from within, glow from each other. And now that name was on a real business. Funded by me. Labeled with my home address. But built in memory of him. I didn't even realize I was shaking until my coffee spilled across the floor. I should have stopped there. I should have taken the loss, changed my passwords, maybe even just vanished from her orbit. But I needed to know how deep it went. So I called the number listed on the business website. A woman answered. Chirpy. Too chirpy. Hi, Glow House Skin Studio. This is Kara speaking. How can I help you? My voice nearly cracked. Hi, is Danielle Ruiz available? Pause. Oh, are you Naomi? My stomach dropped. Yes? Kara laughed like we were old friends. Danielle talks about you all the time. Said you were the angel investor behind all this? She said you're her big sis bestie who believes in her no matter what. I couldn't even speak. She said if it weren't for you, none of this would have happened. I hung up without replying. My hands were ice. She was out here building a whole personality, a whole brand around me being her secret sponsor, making me sound like I volunteered for this. Like I proudly handed her thousands of dollars with a smile and said, "Go shine, babe." I'd never felt more invisible in my own story, so I did something petty. I posted on Reddit, not under my real name, but I needed to scream somewhere. AET for wanting to publicly expose someone who used my kindness, my apartment, my money, and my silence to launch a business behind my back, and then erased me from the credits? I laid it all out. From the Naomi strategy file to the false emergencies to the spa registered under my roof. The post blew up. Thousands of comments, most supportive, some angry, a few trolls, of course. People saying, "You let it happen," or "Sounds like you were just paying for companionship." But I didn't care. Because for the first time, I wasn't alone in this. Then someone messaged me privately, an account I didn't recognize. "Hey, you don't know me, but I used to date Danielle. Back in 2020. I saw your post. I believe you." He attached a screenshot. It was an email. From Danielle. Dated 2021. "I've got this friend Naomi. She's low-key obsessed with me and kind of pathetic TBH. But she's loaded, so I play it up. She'll fund anything I sell as long as I cry hard enough. Maybe I'll have her back my skincare line, lol." I stared at that email for 10 minutes. Obsessed. Pathetic. Cry hard enough. I couldn't cry. I couldn't even breathe right. I felt like every version of myself from the last 5 years was collapsing under the weight of that one email. That was how she saw me? Not a friend, not a sister, not a safe place. Just a mark. A soft-hearted idiot with a decent salary and a savior complex. And the worst part, the actual worst part, was how much I still wanted her to just once say sorry. Not the performative kind. Not the crying on the voicemail kind. Just one real apology that said, "I knew what I was doing. And I knew it would break you. I did it anyway." But she never said it. She never even admitted she did anything wrong. I don't know who else has gone through something like this. Being erased from your own generosity, made to feel stupid for loving someone too deeply. But if you're reading this and nodding, you're not crazy. You're not weak. You just gave your heart to someone who never deserved it. And it doesn't mean you stop giving. It just means next time you give it to someone who holds it like it matters. The week after I posted on Reddit, something in me snapped. Not in a meltdown way. More like a lock turning. Something clicked, and I wasn't scared anymore. Not of her. Not of what people might think. Not even of what I might lose by speaking out. I'd already lost too much staying quiet. So I started making a list. Not a dramatic burn book or revenge manifesto. Just facts. Every Venmo, every Zelle transfer, dates, amounts, reasons she gave. I cross-referenced them with Danielle's Instagram stories before she blocked me. Timestamps from receipts I still had in my email. Texts she'd sent me on crisis days, some of which she spent at restaurants that didn't exactly scream financial hardship. I didn't just want closure anymore. I wanted clarity and accountability. By the time I finished compiling the list, it was 10 pages long. $47,880. That's what I'd spent directly. It didn't include food I cooked, rides I gave, jobs I referred her for, or how many hours of therapy I'd need to unlearn the idea that being needed, checker being loved. But I wasn't done. I remembered that the LLC Danielle registered, Glow House, had a local listing address. Mine. So I called the Secretary of State's office. Hi, I need to remove my residential address from an active business registration. I didn't authorize its use. They transferred me to someone in business services. I explained everything. I never consented to have my address used. I wasn't part of this business legally, and I'm worried about being liable if something goes wrong. The woman on the line was calm but firm. You'll need to file a statement of non-association. It's pretty straightforward. Once it's reviewed, the address can be removed from the public listing. Done. Then I filed a cease and desist through Colby, my lawyer friend. It wasn't a lawsuit, not yet. But it was a formal letter requesting that Danielle stop using my name, my likeness, and any reference to me as a financial backer. Colby mailed it to the spa directly. And he CC'd the property owner who I discovered was subleasing the storefront illegally. I wasn't trying to destroy her. I just wanted my name back. But then the twist came. It hit me while I was on a call with Kara, the receptionist who'd accidentally spilled the truth the first time. She didn't know who I really was. I'd called again, this time just asking for booking info. Casual, I asked how long they'd been open. Oh, we launched soft in October, she said. Official opening was December 1st, right after she got that big boost. Big boost? Sorry, boost? Yeah, Kara laughed. Her boyfriend's investment, total game changer. That's when we got the neon signs, the LED machines, all of it. My voice stayed calm. She has a boyfriend? Yeah, Kevin, from Texas, real estate guy. He paid for half the setup, I think. Kevin. That name didn't sit right with me. So I did what any heartbroken, betrayed, emotionally fueled woman does. I searched. Danielle had never mentioned a Kevin. She'd claimed she was single, said she was too focused on healing and building something for herself. But I found him. Kevin Marston, real estate developer, Scottsdale-based. He had a podcast, an Instagram, and a girlfriend highlight reel, full of spa dates, champagne, and photos of Danielle in the exact same outfits she wore on the days she told me she couldn't afford groceries. One caption hit me in the chest. So proud of my girl at Glowhouse Queen, from tears to entrepreneur in 6 months flat. I just gave her the final push. Final push? She had a backup investor the whole time. I wasn't her only lifeline. I was just the warm-up. She'd used me to float the bills, build the dream, prep the foundation, until a richer, shinier man came along, and then she cut me out. Clean. Replaced. No warning. No thanks. Not even goodbye. Just next. I don't know how long I sat there, staring at her Instagram, feeling like I'd been gutted. Not because she chose someone else, but because she never saw me as a person to begin with. Just a step in the plan. And the thing is, I know I'm not the only one. If you've ever been the emotional stepping stone for someone else's success story, the filler chapter they never gave credit to, you know this ache. It doesn't go away easy, but I swear, it sharpens into something you can build a boundary out of. By the time I found out she tried to trademark the name Naomi Method for her upcoming skincare line, I wasn't even surprised anymore. Just done. Not devastated. Not even angry. Just the kind of cold clarity that comes when you've been burned so many times your skin doesn't even sting anymore. She'd told Kevin, the new boyfriend/investor, that I was her muse, her inspiration, that she named her signature facial treatment after me because I had this calming energy clients would love. She filed for the trademark 2 weeks after our last conversation, the one where I told her I needed space. She didn't ask. She didn't even tell me she was going to monetize my name after gutting my trust. So yeah, I lawyered up. Colby filed a trademark opposition attached with proof of emotional manipulation, screenshots, bank statements, voice memos, and a notarized statement from me, saying I had never consented to the use of my name or likeness for commercial branding. That alone would have shaken her. But I wasn't done. See, Danielle had made one big mistake. She listed my address on the LLC, which meant any legal mail came to me, not her, including the lawsuit from her other ex, the one who co-invested in her last wellness retreat scam. Turned out I wasn't the first person she'd drained. I called him. We talked. We traded receipts. And that's how we realized. Danielle had a pattern. She'd find someone soft, make them feel chosen, pour on the broken girl sympathy, then drain them, emotionally, financially, completely, before skipping town and starting fresh somewhere else with a rebranded story. But not this time. With both our lawyers on it, we filed a civil suit. Fraud, misrepresentation, and unauthorized use of identity. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about leaving a paper trail that would follow her into every future business application, loan request, and licensing board background check. Glow House shut down within 6 weeks. The property owner terminated the lease once he realized she'd falsified sublease documents. Kevin ghosted her the second the legal threats started. Her LLC got dissolved by the state for noncompliance. Her Instagram was wiped clean. And Danielle? Last I heard, she was couch hopping in Arizona, trying to rebuild after a wave of female jealousy took her down. That's what she called it on a TikTok under a new name. I didn't even feel vindicated watching it. Just tired. I never wanted revenge. Not really. I just wanted my peace back. And I finally had it. It came quietly. Not with fireworks, just silence. No more fake emergencies. No more random cash requests. No more waking up wondering if I was stupid for being kind. The last message I ever got from her came through a fake email address. I still don't get why you turned on me like that. I was just trying to build something. You of all people should understand that. I didn't reply, because here's what she never understood. You don't get to burn someone to build your empire, and then act confused when the ashes won't cheer for you. What I learned? Kindness should never be a currency. And if someone only loves you when they need something, that's not love. That's a transaction. If any part of this story sounds like your own, share it in the comments. Seriously, you're not the only one and you shouldn't have to carry it alone. And if you've made it this far, thanks for listening. Stick around if you want more stories like this. Some wounds deserve to be witnessed.